It has now been just over 3 weeks since I got my Vital Bracelet Digital Monster, and I have learned a lot about this device in that time. Unlike other V-Pets I normally cover, this one didn't have a lot of mechanics that were coming over from previous iterations. So, for example, when I got my Pendulum Z here, I knew it would be mostly like the Pendulum Zs that I already reviewed before that point, and even those were mostly similar to the Digital Monster X, which had a lot of features from the Pendulum version 20th, which also had a lot of features from the Digital Monster version 20th. Digimon V-Pets are mostly the same from iteration to iteration, but with changes to make them unique, different functionalities, and as you may have seen in my brief history of Digimon V-Pets series, there's a lot of cases where they'll add cool new gimmicks, but the Vital Bracelet is very much different from these other V-Pets, and that's for a lot of reasons. So going into this, I didn't really know fully what to expect, and in the past 3 weeks, I definitely think I've gotten a good grasp on it. I think I've formed my opinions on it, and I'm ready to talk about this. Now, I did do a live stream already on this too, where I did already talk about a lot of things, but that live stream was kind of a disaster, and you shouldn't be able to find it just by searching for it on YouTube. It is still technically up in case you want to give it a shot and know where to look, but it's I don't recommend checking it out. So I want to do a proper video on this to show off some of the features of this device, and it's definitely a device that a lot of people have been talking about too. This is definitely one of the most prolific Digimon V-Pet releases in recent years, and in fact I can't even really think of one that really meets the expectations that this one had, because for the most part Digimon V-Pets are a very niche thing within an already niche community. Even though Digimon V-Pets are what started off the Digimon franchise, most people know it for the anime or they know it for the video games. Not many of them use the actual virtual pets, but in this case it's a new virtual pet that everybody was interested in. Whether or not they actually wanted one's a different story, but everyone at least looked at this and said, oh hey, that's cool, something new. And I could see why, because generally speaking we're working with this type of pet, right? And it's not exactly the most eye-catching thing. I mean, I like it a lot. Don't get me wrong, I love this thing. This beautiful light blue and the little checkerboard pattern. I love everything about this. I love the way this looks, but it's not got the color screen, it's not got a lot of features, it doesn't have the app support, and that's all stuff that we've been asking for a long time, and that's what's been delivered in the Vital Bracelet. Now, whether or not it's been delivered in the way we wanted it to, necessarily, is a whole nother question to answer, but we'll go over some of that. So, first thing to show off here is the device itself. So I have the version black here. As you can see, my wife has the version special, which I opted not to get because I wasn't a big fan of the green, but either way, so we did get each of us one of these devices here. So the band itself is I believe it's silicone, if I recall correctly, and it's a band. It's a fine watch band. I'll demonstrate how it goes on right here. So I put it on my wrist, and I'm not going to be wearing this device while doing this overview just because it is a pain to do so. And also, it's a pain to get on sometimes too. You kind of got to squish it against your arm, and there you go. Now I'm wearing the device, and there's a Anomalakariamon. He's mad at me because I wasn't wearing it, so that's fine. We'll fix that up in a second. But as you can see, it's a bit snug. I'm on the second to last one here, so I could go a little bit less, but I like to keep it tighter. That's just how I wear my watches normally anyway. And yeah, so it's not great for huge wrists because it can't really fit anything bigger than 19 centimeters. My wrist is not small, but it's also not like fat either. Like, that's how much give I have until I hit bone. I'm a tall person, so it makes sense I'd have larger wrists, but if your wrists are even larger than mine, you may not be able to wear one of these. They are making wristband and extenders though, which is nice. So you can, well, not extenders, they are just straight up longer bands that you can get. But they're only 660 yen, which is great. Only problem is that, you know, they're being sold in Japan, so importing fees definitely make that 660 yen skyrocket real fast. So you can get that if you're worried about having too big of a wrist to be able to use this, but a lot of people may not have that issue. Some of you might. Just beware when you get it that you may want to find solutions for that. And there are people in the community that are making their own bands or making their own band extenders as well. These things right here, they just pop out with a screwdriver, no problem whatsoever. You can see the little hole right there. And you can replace it basically with whatever will fit in it. And some members of the community are already making some good stuff to support that. Now on the device, front-wise, we have the screen area right here. We have two buttons. We have the micro USB port. That's right, micro USB, not USB-C. I don't know why. And then we have the DIM card slot right here, where you can slide DIM cards in and out. And I just realized I forgot to bring some DIM cards over here for this video, so let me grab some real quick. If you are unfamiliar with DIMs, we have a few right here to show off. There are Ancient Warriors, Black Roar, Impulse City, and Agumon, and what these do is actually give you the Digimon that you raise on the device. So you take one of these little chips here, you take it out of its little card, and you can plug this directly into the Vital Bracelet to load a Digimon from this series on it. So in this case, as you would guess, I would get Agumon on the device, or I can get Pulsemon from this one, Vmon from this one, or Agumon Black from this one. So there's a lot of options out there right now, and they keep making more of them. They have these 4 out right now, plus a Gabumon one, but that one belongs to my wife, so I don't use that one. There's a Shadow Howl, which is the counterpart to Black Roar. Both the Black Roar and Shadow Howl are single line DIMs that were promotional giveaways, so this one came if you pre-ordered early enough, and Shadow Howl was given away to contest winners. They are going to be making full versions of both Black Roar and Shadow Howl, so don't feel too bad if you missed out on those. And they have additional volumes coming out this month. We should be seeing both the Volcanic Beat and Blizzard Fang DIMs featuring Paledramon and Lavorvamon on the cover art. So look out for those, and there will be more coming. Infinite Tide, Titan of Dust, what are the other two? Hermit in the Jungle, and New Metal Empire. In addition to those, we're also getting a few more promotional ones in the form of Digimon Tamers DIMs that are being sold in a not great way. They're being sold as gacha prizes, basically. You go onto the website and you do some draws, and you pay, every time you pay the right amount of money, you get a DIM, and it's random which one it is, basically. So it'll either be Impmon, Lotmon, not Lotmon, Impmon, Monodramon, Guilmon, or Renamon. Lotmon and Terriermon are conspicuously absent, so maybe we'll see a separate DIM from them, especially Terriermon being not there is odd in favor of Monodramon, whereas Impmon, Renamon, Guilmon, and Terriermon were kind of like the main 4. Yeah, Monodramon and as Cyberdramon showed up later on with Rio, but for the most part it was the other 4 doing everything. But either way, those are also limited DIMs. They don't have the full 17. Most DIMs have 17 Digimon on the roster. Those Tamer ones only have, 5 plus 8? Yeah, they got 8. It's a straight line until you hit the ultimate stages, at which point it branches into 3 different ultimates of similar forms. So for example, Cyberdramon can evolve into the 3 different arm types for Justimon. So those are DIMs. We'll come back to those a little bit here in a minute. I'm going to take them away for now. We're going to go back to the bracelet, and we're going to turn it on and show you what it's all about. So there's the screen. It's going to be hard to see right now, so we're going to flip over my camera mode. There we go. There's probably a weird hiccup on your end when I did that, but that's okay, because we got it now. So let's zoom in a little bit here so we can look at Animalakarimon in his full glory. And there it is. He's mad. He's got a cloud because I haven't been wearing it. Now here's the first thing, right, is that you have to wear your DIM so it can detect your heartbeat. You'll see a green flashing light come out of this every so often. That's the heart rate sensor, and that is how it detects whether or not you are wearing it. If you are not wearing it, then your Digimon will die after long enough. Now, I've only had this on for a few minutes to record this video for right now, so he's not close to dying just yet, but he will be at some point. Now, if I wanted to force this thing to be happy with me, then I should go back to that setting I just passed. There we go. We go to the vital screen. We go to this is the heart rate thing. So top one is your resting heart rate. Your bottom one. Wow, that was loud. Turn off my phone while I record videos. Good gravy. And there we go. So top one's your resting heart rate. Your bottom one is your active heart rate. So right now my last recorded heart rate was 65, whereas my resting one's supposed to be 73. So if I'm not matching that, then it kind of gets mad and is like, oh, you're not working out enough, do better. So if we just hold down both these buttons, this will reset our resting heart rate. Let's see how worked up I get while doing a video. If it could detect it on my thumb, or rather my finger. And it looks like it can't, so we'll do it from over here. Oh man, there we go. That time it got me. Now it does have trouble detecting heart rates a little bit. 79, look at me talking too much. It does have trouble detecting the heart rate sometime, but there's some kind of hacks people have been doing to get around that, but it's, I don't know, like putting pieces of paper towels in between their in between their vital bracelet and their skin, which can work, I guess, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of having to do weird hacks to make something work, and it would feel weird for me to do. So I definitely do experience that though, where it does have a hard time sensing my heart rate. And a lot of people are saying it's with darker skin tones. I don't have a darker skin tone by any means, and I still have problems with it. So I don't know, I think the heart rate sensor is just not the best. I don't have any issues with my smartwatch, which I should get that real quick to show you a comparison of size here while I'm talking about it. But this is a LG Sport. It's a Android Wear smartwatch, and it's a little bit svelte compared to that. It's got a nice long band too, as you can see. So it's the Vital Bracelet is not meant to be really a full smartwatch replacement. It's meant to just be more of a kind of fun exercise tool. So you know, don't expect full smartwatch capabilities from it. But either way, the heart rate sensor I definitely feel is not up to par with other fitness trackers. It's kind of a fitness tracker light, basically. So it does have trouble sensing me, and it does get very frustrating since I do have to sit at a desk most of the day, and sometimes it just stops sensing me altogether, and I start losing vital values like crazy. You can see Animalikarimon here is at 0 vital values, and that is an important metric for how your Digimon evolves and grows. And if you are at 0, well, you're not going to do much growing. So it does get frustrating seeing that just drop without me being able to do about it. It's not supposed to. If you're just sitting around doing nothing, your vital values may drop a little bit, but it's not supposed to drop rapidly. It does drop rapidly if it doesn't detect you, and so it's definitely not detecting me most of the time. Now, if I'm working out and doing stuff, it does detect me pretty well, but the vital values definitely drop faster than they grow with workouts. So it's a little bit hard to do, for me at least, to keep this thing going, unfortunately. Either way, so that's the heart rate sensor. So your Digimon just kind of bobs up and down most of the time, and he'll have different statuses showing what their mood is while they are sitting on the screen. So in this case, there's nothing above him, so there's no actual status right now. It's just normal. If it had sunshine above it, it would be happier. If it had a cloud over it, it'd be either sad or not connected. It's strange. They use the same status indicator for both of those statuses, which is a little bit confusing, but whatever. And then other things such as being boosted from getting a special thingy from the app, or getting a injury will show up as a status on here. So there's a whole bunch of different things that your Digimon will show up as. If you're wanting to know why your Digimon looks the way that it does at this exact moment in time, head over to the Digitama Hatchery, where I do have a full guide about what the different status effects mean, as well as everything else having to do with this device. So going through the menus here, the first one is your vitals menu, so it shows you your vital values that you've been giving. Right now I have 0. It shows me my heart rate, which is 79 the last time it checked. It checks every 5 minutes to see what your heart rate is. And then it shows me my miles, and these are basically steps. However, the step counter on this is not by any means an accurate step counter. If I bob a couple times here, yeah, you can see it goes up kind of randomly there. So it's not a great step counter by any means, so just keep that in mind. Again, it's not a full-fledged fitness device. It is more of a fitness toy than anything. Even though they did market this towards adults as well as children, I would say it's more befitting of children doing fitness stuff than it is for adults who are really serious about your fitness stats and making sure you get all the details that you want. So we go over to the next menu here, Digimon menu. So this shows you your Digimon, and if you click on it, right there by using the confirm button, at the bottom you'll see what it was. So it was Bodemon, which turned into, oopsie, I went around it. I gotta hit confirm again, there we go. So it was Bodemon, went into Koromon, to Agumon, to Greymon, and then into Animalikarimon. It shows you the name, its attribute, which is data, and then it also tells you, what is that, the activity type? I believe that's the activity type. Then it shows you your DP, which is basically how likely your hits are to connect. It shows you your HP, which is how long you can last in battle, and AP, which is the damage that your attacks will do. It shows you your battle percent here, which I have 54% out of 22 battles, and Animalikarimon does not do very good. If you want to do good in battles, you want to have higher vital values. The more vital values you have, the better you perform in battle. Also shows the trophies. Trophies are done by doing random exercises through mission mode, and that'll let you achieve different evolutions based on how many trophies that you have. Alright, so next up we have the missions page, which if we go into here, we do a normal mission is just basically your daily goal. In this case, it says to win 1 battle, and I have done that, so I've met my goal. I don't know why I don't have a trophy for that. Maybe I did it the other day. I don't know. And if we go to hard mission, this is just an immediate on the spot mission that we would do. So in this case, it wants me to dash for 20 seconds. So for the next 20 seconds, I'll just shake this thing like this. And as you can see, it does believe I am dashing. Again, not an accurate fitness device, but it's still at least fun to do something to break up the monotony of working out sometimes. So there he goes. How has it been 20 seconds yet? I don't know, but he's getting a good dash in. I'll probably get 2 trophies for this. You can get up to 2 trophies by doing a hard mission, depending on how well you perform. Oh, nope, I only got 1. I didn't dash very well. So, and then you have your special missions, which come from the app, and they are pretty difficult, I have to say. So if you want to have a good challenge, get a special mission. And then you have adventure mission, wherein it's just like the old Digivice toys, where you would have a certain number of steps that you would need to walk, and at the end of the steps, you fight a boss. So there's not random battles in between here and there, but it is a good way to spice up your walks. I definitely like doing it every time I take my dog out. I put it on an adventure mission and let those steps go out that way, and eventually, boom, a little jingle happens and a battle happens, and yeah, it's pretty cool. Untitled Chapter is mad at me again. We then have the backup feature. So by using this, you can have up to 2 Digimon at a time on your Vital Bracelet from up to 2 different DIMs. So I have Animalakariamon right now in backup, which is funny because I have Animalakariamon up in front. I was testing something, okay? That's why I have 2 Animalakariamon, but we're going to leave him there. And in addition to that, we have the app screen, which we'll get to in just a second, and then you have settings where you can change your time, your wallpaper. Let's change it to the DIM specific one. Each DIM has a specific wallpaper that can be used for Digimon on that DIM. So we have this nice little grassy background reminiscent of the version 1 digital monster. We have the brightness settings. We have the sound settings, which sound is just on or off. Brightness has 5 levels, by the way. We have factory reset. We're not going to hit that. And then we go back, and that's pretty much everything on the device itself. So as you give your Digimon vital values, trophies, and battles, it will be able to grow into new forms and reach new evolutions, just like any other virtual pet. And the cool thing is that when it's evolving, you can actually hold down the button to cancel evolution, or just press it to confirm evolution. So you can potentially keep Animalakariamon forever as your partner, which is honestly a really nice touch. If they do make a Zudomon DIM at some point, which they better, then I might just leave Zudomon on there forever and call it good. So let's throw off a battle real quick here. So if we go into, we'll just grab my phone. So there we go. And we're just going to hit that against that. So my phone has NFC in it, and because an NFC point touched my my Vital Bracelet digital monster, I can now hit the button. My opponent appears, it's Neo Devimon, and I'm going to hold down the button because Neo Devimon will kick the crap out of Animalakariamon. That is a virus perfect, and I am a data perfect, and we don't want to deal with that. Let's see what we get instead. Metal Greymon. Okay, that's a little bit better of a matchup. I almost never win against him, but we're going to see. Now, one disappointing thing is there is no pre-battle minigame or anything to decide what your shot sizes are, so initiating a battle, that's really all there is to it. At this point, the entire thing plays out automatically, which is normal for virtual pets. The battles don't normally have interaction in between, and your attack sizes are predetermined based on your Digimon's activity type. So Metal Greymon, for example, his type is active, so his super hit is going to be on the second shot, which thankfully he's going to miss since I just made that shot. When a super hit comes up, you see a full screen portrait of them, and they shoot a big old shot, and Animalakariamon dodged it. Good job. Shoots another little claw at him. Okay, good, good. We're doing not bad. We got him down to half health, and that's the third round, so he's got us down to 3/4. Let's see. Okay, dodge that one. That's okay. All we need to do is land the big one. If we don't land the big one, we lose. All right, you got this. I believe in you. Oh, wait, did we still win? I think we still won. Was that round 4 or round 5? I legitimately have forgotten. Oh, thank heavens we won. All right, so when you win, you get obviously another point on your win list, so that's nice, but you also get some vital values. So I got 300 vital values. Winning battles is definitely the easiest way to increase vital values, I have found. So keep that in mind. If you are running low on vital values, do some battles, but also keep in mind that you lose vital values when you lose a battle. So just be careful about getting the battles you can't win. As you saw, I ran away from Neo Devimon to avoid losing that one, and you can do the same. All right, so that's battles on this. The last thing I want to show off is the app itself. So I'm going to go ahead and open that up on my phone, and we're going to hope that it shows up well on camera. Well, we can't see the entire thing, unfortunately. Let's zoom out just a little bit. I won't zoom out too much. So The app itself is entirely in Japanese, and there has not been any announcement concerning a English version of the app just yet. So keep that in mind that if you want to use this, you will need to navigate a Japanese menu system, but it's pretty easy to figure out what's what. Okay, there's the right daily things. This part's not easy to figure out because it's just random stuff that pops up all the time. But everything else is pretty easy to tell. So right now I don't have any Digimon on here, so if I wanted to load my Digimon, I would hit the transfer button down here. It would say, okay, go to the app icon on your device, which I will do. And we're going to touch it. And where's the point? Oh, I didn't hit go yet. I gotta hit go. Okay, we'll give that a second. Oh, I got an error. 19011. Wait, is this the wrong NML Karimon? It is. So, interesting problem I had, and that's a good example of how this thing is not quite perfect. It's I just got error 19011, and now I don't have any idea what that's supposed to mean, but what I've discovered is that this Digimon I am currently raising will never be able to go into the app for whatever reason, and I don't know why. It's a bummer, but it just cannot. So I'm just going to restart here real quick, because that takes forever to go back to normal. Every time you turn on the device, you do have to adjust the time. But yeah, so sadly, this NML Karimon is just kind of meh. He just can't ever do anything. So let's go to the backup, which is the light bulb, which I always pass because I always think of light bulb as, you know, turning off the lights to go to sleep. So we'll get this NML Karimon, and we will back him up. Wait. Oh, I see. No, I didn't have anyone else on here, so I'm just backing up my NML Karimon. I thought I had an NML Karimon in backup because... No, I don't have two. I have two Greymon. That's what it is. What's wrong with me? Either way, that guy can't go in there. So let's go and we'll go to our stats page right here. And if we go to this little thing up here, this is our capsules of other Digimon. So I've got two little babbies, but I've also got a... Actually, no, that's not a babby. That's a Shootmon. So I have one little babby. I have Shootmon and I have Greymon. So we'll get Shootmon out of here because he's a new guy. So we're putting him as our active Digimon in the app. There it goes. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do the process for moving it back. So first thing it wants to do is check which DIM we have installed. So we're going to go to App. We're going to go to Connect. And oh, there we go. Alright, so now it wants us to put the Impulse City DIM in here, since that is the DIM that Shootmon uses. You will need to do this anytime you transfer a Digimon from a different DIM. So let's get Impulse City. And this part's not going to be super exciting, I'm not going to lie, because it just does kind of take a while. So we plug that in. Yeah, it wants me. Yeah, okay, we got to start over. Alright, so let's start the process over. DIM. Give it a second to transfer via NFC. I do wish this thing had Bluetooth for easier transferring, but hey, it's what they chose. So we plug in Impulse City. We wait a good long 50 seconds, and we'll let that do its thing. In the meantime, I might as well just start talking about what I feel about this device. And the one thing I've come to determine is that it unfortunately is not really the device for me. I do think there's a lot of good ideas in it, and I think it's a interesting take on V-Pets, but I've just found that the biggest problem I have is that there's not much that you're doing with it in the middle of the day. And I know aren't all V-Pets like that, right? Normally V-Pets are very passive devices, but generally speaking, like those little interactions like feeding and the cleaning up the poop and all that, it's those things that make V-Pets special to me, I guess, is the way I would put it, and this just doesn't really have that as much. And in addition, since it's got a problem detecting my heart rate much of the time, which again, I don't believe is because the device is faulty, I just believe it's just bad at doing it. It just makes it less fun for me. Now, that's not to say it's a bad device, and it's not to say you can't have fun with it, because some of my very good friends are having a great time with this and are enjoying it. It's just, unfortunately, I'm not, so I'm probably not going to spend too much time with this thing. I was planning on buying basically every DIM as they came out, but probably not going to buy all of them. I'll still probably buy the mainline releases. Here goes Shootmon. He's going to shoot back into the device here. There he goes. Great. But yeah, like the random promotional dims and all that, I'm going to skip those. I've already got Infinite Tide and Titan to Dust pre-ordered. I'll still pre-order Titan of the Jungle, no, Hermit in the Jungle at New Metal Empire, but I've just thought, I don't know, this just isn't as enthralling as I had hoped it would be for me. And who knows, for you that might not be the case, and I'm not going to, again, I've seen plenty of people really enjoy these things, having a great time with them, and especially if you're using them to exercise, that's fantastic. That is great. Anything to help you get out there and be active is very, very good. For me, I find this to be as motivating as a regular smartwatch. Like, I do like seeing all my fitness stats from my smartwatch when I do exercises, and that's kind of motivation already enough for me. Now, again, maybe if they put Zudomon on here, I'll be more inclined to say otherwise, but for now, it's not exactly something that I will be running as much as I would say a normal V-Pet like the Pendulum Z. But I am interested to see where else it goes. I'm interested to see how long Bandai does support this. Hopefully they do give it a lot of support. Hopefully they give it a lot more release. Right now it's only being released outside of Japan via Premium Bandai, and I hope to see this be a retail release everywhere, because this is a retail release in Japan, which is new for them. That hasn't been the case for a Digimon V-Pet in a long, long time. Not since the well, if you count the Appla driver, then the Appla driver, but I don't. If you count the Crossloader, then the Crossloader, but I barely count that one because that's not a V-Pet, that's a Digivice. The last one would have been the the Cross Mini, that's what it would have been. The Cross Mini would have been the last V-Pet sold in stores in Japan, and so this being out there, that's a pretty big deal. And honestly, just for that fact alone, I'm very excited about this. I'm excited to see Bandai doing something with V-Pets yet again. So even if this isn't what I'm necessarily hoping for, it might be what you're hoping for. If you do have questions about it, definitely hit up our server over on Discord. The link is in the description as always, and there is a whole Vital Bracelet channel for you to just talk about it, or if you have questions about it, go to the help and questions section and ask away there. There are plenty of experts on this thing, people who know more than I do about it, and if you haven't yet, do check out the manual that is up on Digitama Hatchery so you can become familiar with the basic functionalities of this thing. So let me know what you think of the Vital Bracelet in the comments. Do you like it? Do you hesitant about it? Do you hate it? Do you love it? Is it the best thing ever? I really want to know, because I'm seeing a lot of different opinions out there, which I love. I love that there's people that do really like this thing, even though I don't. So if you do, I'm super happy for you. I'm glad that they did this, especially, again, as a actual retail release, at least in Japan, and hopefully a retail release here later. We'll see. But for now, it's at least one of the easier V-Pets to get a hold of, that's for sure. But yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to be doing a live stream tonight, so make sure to check that out if you are interested in the way that I set up the Digitama Hatchery website, because I'm going to be doing a development stream, and that's going to be a mixture of not only just the coding portion, but the actual farming of evolutions from these devices as well. So if you want to check that out, definitely tune in. That'll be at 8 p.m. Eastern, and yeah, and it will go a lot better than my last live stream, I promise. I'm actually doing testing to make sure it goes through properly this time. So anyway, enjoy your Vital Bracelets, enjoy your exercise, and I will see you next time. Bye!